everyone, Thomas here and welcome back to another video. So today we're back here for another speed build, and today we're going to go ahead and create this tropical mansion. So if you'd like to go ahead and download this for yourself, it is up on the gallery now. My origin ID is RealThomasTV1, and I'll also leave a link in the description to the online gallery if it's easier for you to download the build that way. So in total this build has 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. I built it on a 40 by 30 lot in Sony, and you can actually see the name of the lot on the top left. I can't actually read it because it's too small for me on my playback screen, but you probably be able to see it. So it came at 181,291 simoleons. And I did use, quite a few packs today, but it's definitely, I have been trying to pay more attention to what packs I'm using in the last couple of builds, just to try and reduce the amount of unnecessary ones. So for example, if I use like a rug from one pack or something, then it shows on the gallery that this pack has been used, even though from that pack I'm only using one item. So for that sort of thing, I have been paying attention to it. A good example is actually Get to Work. I always end up using Get to Work in my builds because I have like a little coffee table. It's like just like a one-tile coffee table. It's in miscellaneous surfaces. It's not actually classed as a coffee table. And the other thing as well is this very kind of thin plant in this like plant pot. So those 2 items are really the only ones I use from Get to Work. So if you don't have that, you may see it on the gallery and be like, oh, I can't download this now, even though it might just be a plant. So the packs that I did use is actually all of the expansions apart from Get to Work. And then for the game packs, I used Jungle Adventure, Parenthood, Dine Out, and Spa Day. And then for the stuff packs, I used Laundry Day, Fitness Stuff, Backyard Stuff, Cool Kitchen, and Perfect Patio. So that might sound like a lot, but compared to some other like builds I've done, those are a very low number of packs. I mean, well, it is still a lot, but it's definitely less than what I usually do. And like I said just before there, this build is up in the gallery now, which is kind of weird to say because of all these idle living videos I've done over the last couple of days. I've had to wait before I've uploaded them, so now I can actually just upload it straight away, so it's available now. So this kind of style that I went for, I don't really know, to be honest. I'm gonna say it's kind of modern. Now, I had a lot of trouble with this build. I nearly scrapped it a couple of times. It's just that the whole exterior shell of the build, I just didn't know what it was missing, but it just, something isn't right about it, and I'm still not sure about it. I'm definitely more happy with the build now, but compared to where we are now in the playback screen of how the exterior is at that point, I just knew that something wasn't right. Now by the end and the build's finished now, I am much happier with it. I still think there's one thing missing. I don't know what it is. I think that the build is just a lot flatter than normal, if that makes sense, because normally in my builds I do a lot of pop outs and stuff like that. This build, in terms of its shape, is a lot more simple, so I think that might be why I'm thinking that. So actually it may just be okay and it's just me from what I used to, so I think that might be the issue, but I'm still happy how it turned out though. So like I said, it is a fairly modern theme. It's not ultra modern. I have thought about doing that with Solani and Iron Living, but just the items that we've got in general just don't really work that well with ultra modern. So I kind of went for this sort of updated modern theme, which is actually what I do a lot in terms of furnishing, is like an updated modern theme. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. And I'm just going around doing this little, well, it's not actually little, it's actually a pretty big dining room and kitchen, and I'm really happy how this room turned out. Where the dining room area is, I did go ahead and include a huge big table there with those big windows. I thought it'd be a nice kind of thing to have there with the big windows. And there's also lots of outdoor space as well, as you would have saw from the thumbnail and stuff. So I do have a nice kind of big boardwalk sort of thing. I don't really know what you would call it. Just like a lot of activities over the water in the backyard area, I guess you could call it, even though it's in the ocean. And this is one of the bathrooms here. I think I might have showed you 1 or 2 more bathrooms than normal. Maybe just one of the... I don't know actually, maybe one other bathroom than that, I'm not really too sure. I might have cut it out at the end, but I think I included 1 more, but I may have cut it out, I'm not too sure. Anyway, so I don't really include the bathrooms in my speed builds, but this build didn't take that long really, so I thought I'd include another one, just in case the video ended up being a bit short, but actually I think I may have cut it out. But anyway, it's literally exactly the same. I do all the bathrooms in my builds the same, if you don't know. When I kind of start the build, I know everybody has like different ways of how they do the process of building. For me, there's a few things before I do this, but one point is that I'll go into, once I've maybe done the exterior wall coverings and windows, then I'll come inside, I'll put all the lights down, those little basic saucer light things. I put those in every room, size them down to the lowest I can go. And then I go back through and put all the wall coverings in and flooring in before I then start decorating, which I feel like, some people don't like to do it that way. And, it can be a little bit problematic sometimes, but sometimes I do kind of, well, actually pretty often, I will go into a room once I start finishing it and actually have to change wall coverings around, but I do get like the basic one in. For example, this room, I did actually go ahead and change the wall covering slightly to go ahead and put that kind of backsplash thing, well, backsplash, that doesn't make sense. You kind of know what I mean though, like a back-end sort of thing to the TV there. I don't know why you would need a backsplash for a TV, but, like a feature wall sort of thing I was trying to say. And this room actually is huge. It's got like 3 different areas to it, this living room. So it's got this one right here with the TV in it, and then it's got another seating area where the kind of windows, those big, well, it's actually 2 sets of big windows. There's that one right there that you can see, which is where the study goes, and then the kind of octagonal section to the room, that's where another seating area goes. So definitely way more seating than you need for this family who would be able to fit in here, but I kind of just thought it was a nice idea to kind of fill up the space that way. Now, there isn't a actual separate study in today's build, which I don't do that often, where I miss that out. I normally put a study room in my builds, but where that like sort of brown room is right next to this one on the left there, that was actually going to be the study, but I actually changed that into another bedroom. Now, even if that wasn't there, the total number of bedrooms and bathrooms would be 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms, which I think is still a decent amount. But I was kind of noticing that this is actually a mansion, like the title has the mansion word in it. So I was like, okay, I know some people aren't going to like that, so I was thinking, I need to try and fit in a bedroom here and there if I can, an extra one. So that's what I did there. So, there is the study. Well, there isn't a study now, but I did change that, what was going to be in the study, into another bedroom. I'm probably confusing you right now, aren't I? Anyway, so we're just working on one of the bedrooms here. Now, this one I would probably say is one of the teen rooms. Now, I don't do a lot of personalised rooms in my builds, and I have mentioned over the last couple of days with the Island Living builds that I also wasn't going to personalise them, just kind of focus on the new items and just kind of see what they're like without having to make a storyline up for that build or whatever. So I kind of going on with that theme a little bit, but I did switch it up a little bit here, and I actually put a streaming table in this room here. Sometimes I do that. I've done it before as well in a for a teen's room, like a teen streamer or something. Maybe he makes YouTube videos or her. So that's what I did here, and just put that desk there. Now, I'm not actually too sure if that desk will have a problem with using it, because it does slightly clip into the wall. I've just noticed. I don't think it will, but no, I think it might be alright actually. Anyways, so we're just working on this room right here, which is actually tiny. Now, this was actually going to be another bathroom, but then I was kind of thinking again, similar to how I had to sacrifice the study for another bedroom. I was thinking again, we need another bedroom here because I can't really class this as a mansion at this point. So I did make this into a bedroom. Now, I don't really know what type of sim this would be for. When I built it, I was kind of thinking of like a teen girl, a preteen, or maybe just like a child girl, but there isn't any sort of toys in here or anything. It's a little bit more mature, I guess I would say. So, maybe a teen girl or something, but of course that's up to you. I'm just giving you an idea there. And this room right here, again, it's not really got any personality to this room. This one's fairly neutral. And there is also a ensuite bathroom in this room. Now, this room isn't the master one. You would have seen the master one. I think we worked on that just before. And that had its own like sitting area, an octagonal section to that room with big glass windows. And that master room does also have an ensuite bathroom like this one here. So we're just working on putting a few things in here. Nothing too spectacular about it. And, just mentioning again about this mansion idea. I see a lot of people thinking, just in other people's speed builds, I've seen like, oh, this wouldn't be classed as a mansion, blah, blah, blah. Well, I kind of used to think that if a mansion, well, me personally, I wouldn't do a mansion if it wasn't on a 64x64 or 50x50 in the past. But, since I've been doing, like, I'm coming up to my 100th mansion build, I've kind of, changed my sort of opinions about what I would class as a mansion these days. So, it might not be a 50x50, it might be a 40x30 like this, but if it has, a good amount of bedrooms in it and it's going to fit a full family of 8, then I would probably class it as a mansion, because, if a 64x64 with so many bedrooms, this still can only fit in, 8 sims in it. So if this one can fit 8 sims in it, then I suppose it is also a mansion as well. So we're just working on this room here. Now, this room, like I said, this is the one that was going to be the study. So it is very small, actually. I mean, it's not small, but it's kind of where the bedroom, well, the bed area is. It's kind of a little bit sort of narrow there. I couldn't actually fit proper end tables in. I just had to go for those really tiny seasons ones, which actually worked out well here. So I'm glad I had those in game. And I know I haven't really talked about my overall opinions of the pack yet. Now, I actually haven't had a chance to play the game at all yet. I haven't even been in live mode other than going to hit the screenshots of my builds. So I have no idea really about the gameplay aspects of the pack, so I can't really comment on my opinions about that. I wouldn't really think that would be very sort of reliable, I suppose. But in terms of build mode, which I have had a good look around because I've done so many builds with it now, I love build mode in this pack. I do wish though, and I was talking to my friend Yorkie about this the other day, and he said the same thing, is that we wish there were a few more modern items in the pack, because, we do have some nice things such as new windows, which you can see behind us there, those nice big glass modern ones, so there's those, but there's not a lot of furniture that kind of matches a modern theme. It's all very Caribbean, which matches the world, but I feel like if they're going to go for that modern theme with some of the items, it'd be nice to have a few more so you can make like an actual full modern build out of it without having to use other packs, because all of these builds that I've done recently with Island Living have been fairly modern themed, and I've had to use other packs to kind of do that successfully, I suppose. So it would be nice to have that, but still, if you have other packs, you can make that modern theme work in Solani, so that's great. And in terms of the landscaping as well, I really like that. We're working on that now, actually. I'm really happy with the landscaping in this pack. It's got a good amount of plants, I can't speak. It's got a good number of plants in the pack, and just lots of other things as well, like those flowers, more kind of lush green type of things, lots of nice things, and also these hedges as well. So there's lots of stuff you can do with the landscaping in this pack, and I don't think I used any base game plants. Now you know that base game is kind of the main thing for landscaping because it has the most things there, but I don't think I used any base game plants. Now, I mean, I used the rocks, which do come under landscaping in the game, but I wouldn't really class it as that. Anyway, so we're just working on putting a few sort of outdoor sort of exterior details on now. I'm just going around and put a few kind of blanket boxes on, and I also go ahead and put a little bit of ivy on from Jungle Adventure to finish it off, and just kind of add a few more things, as I was still at this point having that little bit of a doubt about, that thing I was talking about at the start. But after I added the ivy in, as you can see here, I'm really happy how this build turned out. One other thing I noticed about this particular lot is, as you can see from that picture there at the front of the house that we just passed, you can see how the lighting isn't that great. Now, I did try to go through all the times of day, but I couldn't find, similar to the 50x50, I couldn't find a time of day where the sun actually shines on the front of the lot, which is really frustrating. So well, actually the back of the lot as well, well, for this lot I did, but not the 50x50. But anyways, so that's one of my bit of a frustrating with this pack, is how bad the lighting is in some areas for taking screenshots. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and leave you here with the rest of the screenshots. I hope you enjoyed. I do also have some bird's eye views of the kind of house as well at the end, as I know that's been helpful for some people recently, so I've included those. So thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like, share and subscribe if you haven't, and you can go ahead and download this from the gallery. My origin ID is RealThomasTV1, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!